Not quite as much work to do on the inner portion of the driver's side frame rail. As you can see, original paint's in really good condition. Right after this body mount right here, as the frame starts to kick up, we do have some surface rust, and that should be pretty easy to get off. So we'll get that off. Right here we've got where I've already did a little bit of cleaning and put the rust converter on there. So that's the dark part. Mainly this this part of the frame rail here. Again, that should be pretty easy to clean off. I've been looking at the very rear cross member to find the secret serial number, and I haven't located it yet. So I'm not sure what I'm going to do there. I might get my little sand blaster out and blast this frontmost rail or flange and see if I can turn it up, but I'm going to do a little more looking on that. Well, all the rust removal and using the rust killer is done on the frame. So has to set for 24 hours, the latest that I've done before it can be top coated. So looks like Wednesday we'll start top coating it, and that'll be a big step. So I'm happy with how this came out. The frame's in really good shape. Just really light surface rust in most areas. So I think it's going to come out really well. I did find the secret serial number, and it's right in this area on the cross member. I try to come up with a way to make that more visible. Maybe run some sandpaper over it and then use clear. I just have to figure something out. I've had some questions about what I've used to prep the frame for painting. So I just want to show you. One is just a regular old wire brush, a small wire brush wheel on a drill, and good old sandpaper. This was 3M Sandblaster 80 grit. Worked pretty well. Again, wasn't very heavy. It was just surface rust. I did one small part. I did use my speed blaster, my little portable blaster, with some fine grit on that rear cross member. For some reason, the area where the secret serial number was had some pitting, and I wanted to get the rust out of the pits, so I used that. Then brake cleaner with a rag, wiped everything down really well. Of course, this is after I'd pressure washed it. Wiped everything down real well with brake cleaner and a rag a couple times. Then I used the Duplicolor Rust Fix, and I like this stuff. It's easy to put on, converts to rust, and leaves a primer that you can top coat. And for areas to keep from getting the rust fix on the undercoating or any other place I didn't want it, I used piece cardboard. Pretty simple. And then right now my plans are to use this VHT epoxy semi-gloss to coat the back half of the frame with. The front half is still pretty much factory paint, and I have touched up a few places with some lacquer, and so that'll stay with that paint. But this VHT is what I've used on the rear axle and the front end components, and it gets hard. I like it. It goes on easy. It's forgiving, so I'm going to go ahead and use that. So this is what I use. Nothing real tough, nothing special, just basic stuff.